by drawing on the deep past and on ancient religion. And it's because of the importance placed on religion that the Neo-Babylonian kings emphasized digging down to the actual foundations of ancient temples and restoring them where possible. Nabonidus uncovered the Temple of Ishtar at Akkad, which I mentioned a few minutes ago, and which archaeologists in the modern day may have found. And when he restored the temple, he made it extremely clear that the bricks of the restored building were to be placed on the tops of the original foundations and to be exactly on top. It was to be as if the temple had never fallen into ruin in the first place. Nabopolassar, the first king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, basically did something similar with the walls of Babylon itself, excavating down to the foundations, and when he located it, he took it as a divine sign and then he rebuilt them, incorporating the original foundations into his construction. When the Neo-Babylonian kings did things like this, they explicitly looked for the foundation deposits, usually taking the form of text. I am so-and-so, I ordered this construction, that sort of thing. They apparently read them, or claimed that they did, claimed they could read this old writing, and they had their own foundation tablets made as close as possible to the original and placed them alongside the ancient ones and then rebuilt the structure. Now this would have been extremely easy to just demolish the ruins and start again from scratch, but the care that Nabonidus and his fellow kings showed for the ancient past is not only remarkable, but it was designed to establish themselves as the inheritors of ancient religious practices, to venerate the same or similar gods, and thus, in that sense, to claim to be the legitimate successors of the ancient kings. Now, some of those artifacts were gathered and they were put on display, basically for the same purposes. And this is where we get to the famous Museum of Engaldi, the daughter of Nabonidus and the priestess of the moon god Sin, at the city of Ur. This was a religious office which had not been filled in over 600 years, and it was resurrected by Nabonidus. Once again, you see the attempts of a Neo-Babylonian king to claim legitimacy by utilizing the ancient past. Her museum is probably the first one in the world, or at least it's the earliest one that we know about with any certainty, and it contained dozens of artifacts from across southern Mesopotamia, spanning over 1,000 years. Now, there was another museum in Babylon, or what we think was a museum. It's been disputed because apparently not all the artifacts came from the same area of the dig site. That was attributed to King Nabonidus and may have been used by earlier kings like Nebuchadnezzar II, if that's indeed what this structure was. Temples also function in this manner, and many of the artifacts that have been brought up in this video, our cruciform monument, the sun tablet, as well as inscribed Akkadian vases and bowls from the Uru period, basically the first city in the ancient Near East, and which were repaired at some point in antiquity apparently, were found by archaeologists in the ancient ruins of a Neo-Babylonian temple dedicated to the god Shamash in the city of Saqqara. Essentially, this functioned as a museum. So, just a couple examples to try and answer this question. Did ancient civilizations have ancient civilizations of their own? Yes, they did, but their understanding of what those civilizations actually were very often were not accurate. So that's it for this one, everybody. If you want to do some more reading about this subject and really go on a deep dive, the sources I've used for the research in this video are going to be listed in the description, and they are an excellent jumping off point. Take care, everybody. If you're dealing with the hurricanes in the south of the U.S., please stay safe. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.
111. We live at Greenhaven Apartment. There's an open line mapping 14 meters.
What you see right here is the best Russian nation for playing tall in Europa Universalis 5. In this video, I will be partnering with Paradox to show you how fun and easy it is to get rich in EU5 without conquering nature. As you can see, by the end of this video, we will be one of the richest nations in the world, richer than even Ottomans or England. Well, hello there. Today is the day we played as Novgorod in Europa Universalis 5. Thank you Paradox so much for sponsoring this video. So, Novgorod is a duchy republic, it has 608 population, it starts under the yoke of Muscovy with pretty good ruler as you can see. It's not in Tatar yoke, some unique country bonuses and advances, and of course some unique privileges, like events and with Persky office. Here is some flavor text, it will also show up as the first time we play it Novgorod. Here we go, if you want to send me the flavor text, it's pretty cool, tells you about history. Yes, we've got a lot of events about Sweden, but let's just focus on becoming rich and powerful. So, number, first of all, I'm going to do one thing, and it's called automation. You see, if you're lazy like me, in your mind, there's this wonderful tab called automation, where you can automate everything in the game can be automated. Like, you can literally just place with 5 and not play the game. So, I'm going to just automate the states. Yeah, I don't want to deal with the states right now. I will probably automate some buildings. I will automate trade, that's very important. And that should be pretty much it. And now let's take a look at our states and our garbage forms. So here we go, our handsome man and the witch. Oh, actually, he's not ruler of Moscow, he's a ruler of Vladimir. Interesting. In any case, that doesn't matter to us, that he's the leader of Moscovite Vladimir Union. And anyway, don't worry, we are not subject of Moscow, it's complicated. It's so like before. Okay, let me just quickly show you some pretty cool stuff we have. So our boyars were completely pretty strong. I just will quickly cover over these states here. There's some unique Russian privileges. As I see, the best one here is Tisetsky office. I think it's in Kinopro. It gives us plus 15% infantry power and some monthly arms addition and some stability. Our Mishyanskoye or workers also have E100. It reduces our crown power. It's really bad. Crown power gives us more publicity. But anyway, this is still pretty good because it will increase our trading. And right now I will not probably grant 82 states. They are automated, right? So the game will revoke and grant privileges as it pleases. Instead, I will just grant one more Gamgee form. So here, it's not estate, those are Gamgee forms. We are Veche Republic, not the best Gamgee form, but it's fine. It increases powers of estates. And we are Merchant Republic, which means better trade. So I'm going to grant one more reform. I will not grant this. It's pretty good because we will run out of food pretty soon. I tell you, it's truth. We will run out of food. But instead I will grant something like diplomatic traditions, I think. Oh my god, yeah, I'm pretty sure you do not understand what's going on here. And if I make it a whole tutorial, it will take like 4 hours of video. So just trust me, it's pretty good. Diplomatic capacity is like relation slots in EU4, if it makes sense. And diplomatic reputation will help us get moralized. So our vessels, don't care about vessels, the ones that matter in the Republic of Pskov and Progession are pretty low cost, they're pretty good. This primitive tribesmen, don't even think about them, they don't even have a country. Those are society of pops, as you can see. They can't do anything. I don't really know why you have them as tributaries, but I mean it's fine, it's fine. I don't care about them. So we are over our cultural capacity limits. We need to demote one of the cultures. To be honest, I hate Karelians. I will most likely culture convert Karelians. In any case, let's just demote the culture. Karelian pop will hate us, that's fine. And now we are still our cultural capacity, but that's fine. Main thing, so right now it won't work, but I will still increase the slider and later it will. So why doesn't it work right now? It's because we don't have gold or silver. Once I unpause the game, because I automated trade, right, silver and gold will be imported automatically. We will start moving. So this box right here will automate the taxes over our estates. Once you click this box right here, the game will automatically try to get as much money from the state as possible without provoking rebellion. It's just some small quality of life feature. And here, by the way, if you wonder why you automate trade, here is the trade interface. If you thought EU4 trade was difficult, oh no. I'm sorry, but it's literally Excel table. I'm sorry, look at this. I mean, okay, it's great and it's possible to learn it. Believe me, if you're a beginner like me, it's much easier to just automate. Let's just learn. But it's very powerful, I'll talk about it later. Now we need to choose our advances. What I will do is, as you can see, we're not we're pretty advanced already, we're Europeans. For advances, I will research our first unique advance called Novgorodian First Chronicle. As you can see, it's special advance of Novgorod. It goes plus 10% culture tradition, which means our culture will be more resilient, more powerful. I do not have a clue what does it impact directly, but I trust that this is positive. In any case, and by the way, yeah, if you, I think I can post it over, it's like Victoria 3, it's attack 3, it's not like EU4, for some cabinet stuff. So we have some very good cabinet members, as you can see. Nikita, for example, Nikita is based, look at this, 94 to 98 military. Why is it based? Because diplomatic and military usually mean culture conversion and stuff, like violent culture conversion, so that's kind of fun at home. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I will assimilate pop in our culture in Karelia. I will promote to Novgorodian and I will go to Karelia. I'm right here. So this will ensure Karelian folks become Novgorodian. Alright, and let's choose a second guy here. I think probably also have one more good cabinet member. So yeah, actual cabinet members are kind of like advisors in EU4. You won't just have to get good cabinet. Okay, so this guy has a very high admin and high command. What I will do is I will probably increase province control. I mean, to be frank, it's not the most useful interaction because I think once we remove the guy, the province control. Why not? Let's build J.A.E. Just need some time to build some roads to increase control. And by the way, yes, about control, as you can see, our control sucks. It's pretty bad. We have very good control around Novgorod in one state, only in one state, and no control in any other province, which is pretty bad. In any case, that's fine. That's fine. It will get better, believe me. Right now our focus is not control, definitely. In any case, let's improve some opinions. I will first take a look if we can ally someone. We could ally Smolensk, technically. Why not? Smolensk is a good ally. I will also improve my opinion with Kyiv. I will improve opinion with Serbia. It's also a Orthodox country. Oh my god, yeah, I'm just going too fast. In EU5, as you can see, you don't have set amount of diplomats. We get monthly diplomats, and we get distorted amount of diplomats. One improve relations takes 0.5 diplomats. So we can improve relations with 6 nations at once. So that's why you can also improve relations with Poland, or improve with Kyiv. You can try to improve relations with Byzantium, that's of course, and we also can push some laws, that's pretty important. For border controls, we can either close borders and disallow migration, which is, to be frank, quite literally stupid. Let's just open borders so others can immigrate to us. Now, mining law. So, mining law is pretty interesting. We can either give power to peasants. The main benefit here is monthly progress to free subjects, it's pretty good. But I would choose burger controlled mining operation. It's progress to bureaucracy and capital economy. Both are pretty good for us because we're much public. We also get some state satisfaction improvement, pretty good. Okay, and also progress are based. Burgers are the best state in the game essentially. Okay, we also can choose some rivals. I will choose Kingdom of Denmark most likely. Let's wait a few months and see if community works. Yeah, so the game starts automatically importing gold, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, silver, not gold. There we go. So now we can mint. Minting increases inflation, obviously, so I can't really go all out. I will try to make it control. Awesome. Also, actually, I think let's go to our cabinet and instead of, well, assimilating to Karelians, right? Let's try to stabilize the country right now for some stability. Second one, okay, you will get plus 0.2 stability. So here we go, as you can see, into anything but game automatically manages United States. Is good? I don't know. As long as I do too much. Awesome. So, right now our goal is actually to stabilize our growth. What is pretty important? We should be able to put more granaries to store more food. But right now we are not producing enough food. What I will do is I would go and build up some RGOs or resources which produce food. So I think the first one over here is somewhere in Novgorod, right? I cannot go state. Yeah, here we go. I will build up some fish right here. As you can see, by the way, some of the events are carried over from before. Well, either partially or almost fully. This one is only partially. A bit familiar one from anyone who played EU4. And right now, let's just chill, I guess. I would try to ally some countries. Oh yeah, but that's pretty cool. So now, burghers will be able to build roads on their own. Yes, states have their own cash, like it's independent from us. And that's pretty good. They'll also get some centralization. So roads. Forgot how expensive they are. By the way, it's so roads. No, it's pretty expensive for roads, but they increase the control and location. As you can see, it reduces the cost of capital, which increases the control. They're pretty useful actually. They also increase movement speed and stuff. They are pretty expensive, but I mean, if I was playing in all countries, I would already have roads everywhere. It's just that Novgorod is a pretty big nation. The Karelian Rebellion. That's why I tried to assimilate some folk right here. They would rebel anyway. So, we can either lose control in Karelia, make Karelians hate us, or we can just release Karelia as a nation. Of course, I will just suppress them, we're playing as Russia. Outbreak of influenza, it's not a big deal. Influenza is a small fry, it will go away. But, well, this guy right here, the bubonic plague, is what's scary. And there is no way we can just avoid it. Okay, Karelian Rebellion, Sweden is supporting Karelia. I'm not reading the events, because the video will be pretty long. If you wish, you can just force engage them. I try to hover over so you can see all the elements from here. So, we can either de-escalate or fight them. If we fight, we become more belligerent. If we de-escalate, we become facilitative. I don't want to be belligerent. We're a pretty peaceful nation. Okay, so let's get a very interesting flavor about Sweden. Yes, obviously numbers has a history with Sweden. By the way, if you remember in EU4, numbers still owns Oreshek, so we're kind of one. In any case, so if we direct Sweden to debate with Byzantium, they will be pissed off and can declare war on us, or we can debate with them directly, but if we lose, we become Catholic. Well, not we, but our ruler. So let's go. Let's take a look at how our foot is doing. Still pretty bad, but not as bad, I think. So foot in EU5 is pretty important because first, it can bankrupt you if you're not careful, ironically. By the way, you might have remembered that I mentioned missions in my previous video. There are some missions. And you might wonder why I'm not taking them. It's in-game rules, you can enable missions, which I'll probably do. By